disclaimer before I give my book review on this book, Grown by Tiffany D. Jackson. This is my second book or second read by her. I want everyone to know that my review is coming based on the information, perspectives, and story that Tiffany presented in this great read, okay? I will be pointing out three main points, basically three phrases, if you will, or three perspectives from Enchanted perspective, Corey's perspective, and the perspective of the person outside looking in, or parental perspective, that sort of thing. And so this is to encourage conversation on this topic, not to place blame, but to see how in a healthy way we can proceed forward, because this apparently happens a lot throughout our existence in all societies, in different areas, different locations, no matter race, gender, creed, culture, etc. So this is important. So let's get into it. First and foremost, I enjoyed this read. Now, it took me longer than expected because I didn't have, for the last several days, I haven't had that much time dedicated to reading as I normally would. And at night, I've been tired after we eat together as a family. I'm wrapping it up and going to bed. So it took me longer to read, but I just finished this. Today that I'm taping this is Wednesday, August 27th. And this was obviously the cover. Come on with the cover. It's gorgeous. I love how this is like S.A. Cosby's, the copies I have of S.A. Cosby, how he has his, where it has this little stick out and the covers like that. I love that. Just got to be careful with it. But this was a 4-star read for me. It was pretty well written. It was a great story. I didn't feel that it needed to be as long as it was. So this book is it's over 370 pages. So it was 371 as far as the actual reading. And then there's an author's note. And I love the author's note, and we'll talk about it. But I'm going to hit 3 points or 3 perspectives. I'm going to give it the phrase of the perspective. And the first one, I have my notes here that I notated for this book, is the I'm grown perspective. Obviously, this book is about a character named Enchanted Jones. Enchanted is a 17-year-old. She's in high school. She's on the swim team. She makes pretty good grades. She's kind of in a middle-class family, if you will, who's kind of holding day by day, work by work, check by check. But her parents have worked hard to try to put their children in a better home, in a better environment. She's in a private school. She's a part of a club called, I think it's like Will and Willow. And she's kind of active. She also has younger siblings who she watches, and she has a younger sibling who's also in high school, just started as a freshman, that attends the same school as she does. So she has a lot going on, but she also has a lot of aspirations, right? So in this book, you get that first perspective of, I'm grown. You get that perspective, I'm grown, from Enchanted, in the sense that, Mom, I'm 17. Dad, I'm 17. I'll be 18 soon. I'll be graduating high school soon. And I have my own vision for my life, right? Enchanted, she has a goal. She sings, and she is a singer who is up on the rise with the right amount of vocal lessons or opportunities to showcase her talent. She can get better and better, and she wants to prove herself. So she wants to go to auditions. She wants to really get found, if you will. But we know the case in industry perspective, putting your work out there and continue to do the work is how you get recognized, right? So she goes to this talent show that her friend Gabby urges her to go to, but she convinces her mom in an unconventional way. You know how teenagers do. Mom, I have a swim meet, but I really don't have a swim meet. Can we slide over here to this talent competition that I just found out about, but I didn't just found out about? You know, so she tries to lure her parents to believe in her and give her a chance to venture out, be more independent, right? And so she runs into Corey, and comes perspective number 2, where Corey is He is already an artist. He apparently has a branch off of his own label, and he appears to be one who approaches the talent competitions and say, oh, I see Enchanted, she has beautiful eyes. He calls her bright eyes. He runs into her, slips up to her like, hey, you know, I can mentor you. And I'm kind of speeding through the story, not trying to tell you all of it, but you get the gist. You get some of it in the brief summary in the back. But his perspective is, I'm doing all of this for you. This is Corey Fields. This is the male main character in here. So Corey, he's the artist. He sees another potential artist. She's young. He don't know how old she is yet until she tells him how old she is. Okay, and then we're going to pretend like, oh, we're just not going to speak on it. We're just going to say you're 18 until you're actually 18, because she turned 18 in 6 months or so. And so he's that guy who comes to her like, oh, I can make this happen for you. I'll convinces the parents, I'm going on a tour, I want to bring Enchanted, I want her to get involved. So it seems, oh, we're gonna have chaperones. We'll have my secretary assistant who follows us everywhere, and we'll have you sign the contract. Of course, the parents you get don't read it all the way, right? And so he constantly throughout this entire book is getting Enchanted, trust me, trust me, trust me. And then eventually things don't go as she expects, right? He turns into a monster. At first he's texting her secretly. He has the number to her phone. You know, that's the I'm grown, you know, thing to it. And then it comes and turns out that he's not who she expected. And then there's some abuse going on. There's some entrapment, if you will. There's other young girls, and so there's a pattern that you start to see. And then the third perspective that Tiffany does so well in presenting here is he knew better. This is the perspective of the parents, the perspective of the outsiders looking in, the readers, right? If you're the adult, he's around 28, you should have known better, or you know better. And so it's up to you to make that decision. I'm not going to approach it that way. I'm going to do the right thing if I'm going to have a working relationship, or I'm not going to approach at all. I love how she presented the information. It was a topic that can be heavy in this book, but she wrote it so well that it's really beautifully written. It's kind of light in the way she wrote it, in the sense that you can easily read through it and understand what's going on here. You have the mother who gets to the point after everything is going down. And I tabbed it here on page 248. She says, I failed you, baby. If I was more of one of those stage moms, if I had paid attention to what you really wanted, if I was there, you know, she goes on this tangent. And you see that parents get to a point, it's like mom guilt, dad guilt. It's like, what did I do wrong? It's that reflection. Oh, I failed you, right? When it's more nuance to it, right? In some areas, everyone failed, because there's people around this guy, this producer guy, this artist guy, who allows things to go on. You have his security who knows what's going on. You have underage drinking going on here. You have people getting drugged, if you will, on here. And then comes to find out there's multiple, but there's another layer to these points here. I'm grown. I'm doing this for you. He should have known better, or he knew better. No matter what, in the ending closing point is, no matter what Enchanted wanted, or she goes through this talk, well, he's a monster, or I love him, he's in love with me, did he really love me? It's like, okay, you're the adult. Okay, at the end of the day, it's just like when you have a child and the child wants to really do something. Mom, I really want to run in the street. Dad, I really want to go to this person's house. But you don't know this person well. You just see them at school. I have to meet them first. I have to meet the parents. You know, there's things that children who haven't experienced much in life yet, who don't have that much information yet, who count on adults to have more information, to have more experience, to have more credibility, to have more integrity, to have more trust and protection, right? So it's up to the adult to say, no, baby, we just don't run in the street. No, baby, we just don't go with random people in the house. We don't jump in everybody's car. We don't eat everybody's food. Whatever it is, right? It's still that expectation of the adult, right? So you have the layer where Enchanted starts to blame herself, which is understandable because it's like, I wanted this. I want to have a singing career. I want to have someone who loves me. I want to be successful, right? And that's understandable, right? But it's that contemplation, that manipulation that goes on. It's those desires that, oh, you have to learn as you go through this journey called life, through trial and error, and so all of that is presented in here. And for this book, I love that Tiffany highlights that it's not just Enchanted who was abused or other girls. There's also Black men, and not just Black men, just people in general. It's not female against male. A lot of people experience this across gender types, across race and culture types, across states types. Across countries, you know. And so I love that Tiffany highlighted that Corey here, he was also possibly went through something as a 14-year-old entering the industry. And the situation here, it kind of patterns what Cassie, the Cassie and Diddy case, it kind of reminded me as I was reading of that journey and that story. And it's so unfortunate that when you go to proper authorities, or whether it's a woman, whether it's a male, whether it's a young kid, whoever it is, and it's first like you're treated almost like you're the criminal and you're getting interrogated, so much so that you think you're on trial for trying to have that voice and give enlightenment of what's going on and try to get safety. Also the thing in here that needs to be highlighted, towards the end, you get a lot of people who says, oh, we should just trust the woman's word. We should just trust the lady's word. And that we have to be careful with. You don't just blindly trust. We have to make the caveat. It's like, no, listen, claims are valid. These are what we call allegations of the accused. And so allegations are supposed to be properly investigated, taken seriously. And then if it's evidence and the lady, redacts what she said and said, oh, takes it back. Oh, it wasn't that, or it wasn't him, because we know people have lied. So we can't discount that, but we must take things seriously and take it seriously enough to at least do the proper investigation. Do it unbiasedly, right? Whether a person's a star or not doesn't mean they should be get special treatment to where they're assumed that, oh, it couldn't possibly be him. They couldn't possibly do that. He writes all these songs, and so that's addressed in here. So I definitely, whether you're a young adult, whether you're a parent, whether you're male, female, anyone and everyone should read this book. This was good. It highlighted some good points and some good themes in here. And I think it ended beautifully. So yeah, go check it out. That's all I have for now. If you haven't watched my September TBR video, go see what I'm reading for September. Also, if you watch that video, help me choose my next read out of my TBR. What should I read next? Should it be Richard Wright, Native Son? Okay, I'm trying to decide what I'm going to read first. Should it be Sugar by Bernice L. McFadden? And this is my TBR, okay? Should it be As the Wicked Watch? Should I read a romance? Okay, I have romance on my TBR. I have YA. I have thrillers. I have autobiographies. Let me know what I should read, which category, which genre. And yeah, that's all I have for you now. Let me know if you've read any Tiffany D. Jackson. I do want to get Allegedly. I want to read that next. And I also want to get White Smoke, The Weight of Blood, all her backlog, because she's just a great writer and tackles some concepts and things that need to be talked about. All right, until next time, in between time, always remember to keep rising.
I'm telling you that there ain't no other way. Pack your bags and leave.